From what I can gather, Garfield Kart currently has some sort of reputation as a meme, partly because a YouTuber once referred to it as the worst game ever made. While it's not exactly going to give Mario and his chums a run for their money, any suggestion that it's the worst game ever made are about as accurate as a message on a Brexit bus. It isn't great, but it isn't too bad. Using the same 50, 100 and 150cc structures you get in Mario Kart games, Garfield Kart features 4 cups, though unlocking the last one is unreasonably tricky and it's not entirely clear how to do it. Essentially, you have to not only win gold medals in the other 3 cups in all 3 difficulties, but also get gold medals on every track in time trial mode, which is a pretty bloody tricky task. For most people not willing to commit hours to flawlessly mastering every course in the game then, the way you can play the 4th cup is via a try me option, where you have to spend 500 coins for the privilege. The problem is coins are rarer than a French steak, so for the most part you'll have to make do with the first 3 cups instead. The game itself is a curious affair. Handling is decent enough, but the power sliding mechanic takes a little getting used to. It's similar to the original Super Mario Kart in that you hold a button to hop and then the slide comes out of that hop, but it's really strict in terms of what direction you're holding when you land. This means if you're simply moving the stick to the other side just to adjust your kart as it hits the ground, you can probably slide in the completely opposite direction instead. It's frustrating at first, but it can be mastered eventually, and since you get a hefty speed boost from it, especially if you can link a bunch of them together, it's worth persevering with in the long run. The main issues with Garfield Kart are the lack of user friendliness and the performance. I've already touched on the former. The game simply makes no effort to help you out. It's never clear how to unlock things. Using a gamepad is a pain in the arse. It insists on still making you use a mouse for menu screens, even between races, and the abstract main menu may as well be in hieroglyphics for all the good it does. The performance, meanwhile, is bewildering. We aren't exactly talking Uncharted 4 here, and yet Garfield Kart stutters along, with the frame rate getting really choppy on certain tracks. This isn't the result of my PC setup. The far more graphically impressive Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed runs at a smooth 60 frames a second on my PC, and I've seen reports of people with far more powerful rigs than mine still getting hefty frame rate dips. For the record, this footage is running on a Steam Link, so it's pretty much spot on. Despite all this, I was still able to put 8 or 9 hours into Garfield Kart without too much hassle. It may have more bugs than a dingy motel bed, but when it does all come together, it plays a half decent karting game. Its weapons are sometimes infuriating. That magic wand thing can die in a fire, and its AI is little cheap, but you could argue those are key ingredients of what makes this genre what it is.